Okay, so this is the last section for rational expressions, and then we do rational equations, and then we're done with all things rational, and we move to, except for rational exponents. I'll put that video on later. But basically, rational expressions with adding and subtracting, they take a little more work than the previous two, because we have to worry about a common denominator, just like with adding and subtracting fractions. So basically, still, the first step of all rational expressions is you factor and you look to simplify. You look to see if there's any common factors that you can divide out in each rational expression, each rational fraction. Really trying to simplify the fraction itself before you try to combine any fractions by adding and subtracting. Then the second step is to look at the denominators of each rational expression that you have, so each fraction, and do they have any factors in common, and which do they not have in common. The ones that they do not have in common are the ones that we're going to have to multiply by, and you're going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the rational expression by that missing factor. So the factor in the denominator that it's missing, that's the one that you're going to have to multiply by. Actually multiplying out the numerator, you have to multiply those out. You can't leave it in factored form, so that we can actually combine like terms of the numerator, and then you're going to factor that new numerator and then simplify again. So this is going to take a lot more work, and it seems very cyclic, because we're going to factor, and then we're going to multiply, and then we're going to combine like terms, and then we're going to factor again, and then we're going to look to see if we can simplify again. So because this is a kind of a longer process, we're not going to focus on critical or the values that the denominator cannot be equal to in this problem, or these problems. So here's our first problem. So remember, the first thing we want to do is we want to look to see if there are, we want to look to factor. So 4x minus 3 is already factored. Then we're going to factor this. We don't have a leading coefficient, so we're looking at factors of 10 that are going to add up to 7. So that's going to give us x plus 5 and x plus 2. And then 2 is already factored, and x plus 2. So you can see that we have a common factor of x plus 2, but the second fraction is missing x plus 5. So what that tells us is that we are going to multiply this second fraction by x plus 5 over x plus 5, so that we have the same denominator with the same factors. So what we're going to have here is a new fraction. The first fraction is the same, of 4x minus 3 times over x plus 5 times x plus 2. But now our second fraction is going to be 2 times the quantity x plus 5, so we're going to distribute that. So 2x plus 10 over x plus 5 times x plus 2. Same factors in the denominator. So now we're going to combine our like terms in the numerator, because our denominators are the same, so we can combine the numerators. So we're going to combine 4x and 2x, and we get 6x. And we're going to combine negative 3 and 10, and we get negative 7 over x plus 5 times x plus 2. And then we want to look to see if we can factor this. There's no common factors, and it's not quadratic, so this is as simple as we can get, and so this is our answer right here, and we are done. Alright, so let's look at another problem. I'm going to need more space on this one. So this one's going to stay as x over x minus 5 because that second fraction is already factored. But the numerator on this top one has a common factor of 3. So this is 3 times 2x plus 1. And then we have to factor by grouping here. So we can factor x squared. And this would be negative 25. So we have... if we do our work over here, x squared times 2x plus 1 minus 25 times 2x plus 1. So we're going to have factors of 2x plus 1 times x squared minus 25, which is going to give us a difference of squares, so x plus 5 and x minus 5. So again, this is a case where we want to look to simplify before we do any common denominators. And you can see that we have 2x plus 1 in both the numerator and denominator of this fraction. So we're going to go ahead and divide that out. And we're going to simplify this to 3 over x plus 5 times x minus 5. And nothing simplifies in this second fraction, so x minus over x minus 5. And then you can see that we have the common denominator factor of x minus 5, and x plus 5 is missing. So we're going to multiply by x plus 5 over x plus 5. And this first fraction stays the same. And then the second one, when we distribute here, we're going to have x squared plus 5x, and we have x plus 5 times x minus 5. The denominators are the same, so we can just combine. They're not like terms, so we're going to just write it as x squared plus 5x plus 3 over x plus 5 times x minus 5. Okay, so this is a quadratic, but there are no factors of 3 that are going to add up to 5, so this isn't going to factor, so it's just going to be x squared plus 5x plus 3 over x plus 5 times x minus 5, or we could write it as x squared minus 25, but there is our answer right there. Alright, so here is another one. So we got a couple of factoring that we can do. This first one we can factor out of 3, so we got x minus 2, and then we've got x plus 4 and x minus 2. I have no idea why we have all those lines there. X minus 2. And then the 5 doesn't factor, but we can look at factors of negative 4 that are going to add up to 3. That would be x plus 4 and x minus 1. And you guys can see that the x minus 2 will divide out. So that means we are actually left with 3 over x plus 4 minus 5 over x plus 4 times x minus 1. And so the x minus 1 is the missing denominator, so we're going to multiply this fraction on the left by x minus 1 over x minus 1. And so we distribute the 3, so we have 3x minus 3 over x plus 4 times x minus 1 minus 5 times x plus 4 times x minus 1. And if we combine our like terms, we have 3x minus 8 over x plus 4 times x minus 1. And there we go. And once again, this doesn't factor, so we can't actually simplify anything down for that. Alright, so here's one final problem. This is a subtraction problem, which, remember, when you subtract means actually do the opposite of the numerator that you're subtracting. So we have just one that we have to factor. We have to factor this quadratic, so it's going to be 2x minus 1 over x minus 1. And then we're going to rewrite this as plus negative 4x minus 1 over, and this is going to be factors of negative 2 that add up to 1, so that would be x plus 2 and x minus 1. So you can see that we have the common factor of x minus 1, and we need to multiply by x plus 2, so x plus 2 and x plus 2. So in this case, we actually have to FOIL or distribute that out. So I'm going to write this off to the side to be able to show all my work. Or actually, because I've been trying to encourage people to use the area model to organize themselves, I'm going to do that. So here's my 2x and negative 1, and here's my x and my 2. So this is 2x squared, here is 4x, here's negative x, and here's negative 2. So what I have then is 2x squared plus 3x minus 2 over x plus 2 and x minus 1. And then we have plus negative 4x minus 1 over x plus 2 and x minus 1. Then we're just going to combine our like terms, and so we have 2x squared and 3x and negative 4x gives me negative x, and negative 2 and negative 3 gives me, or negative 1 gives me negative 3 over x plus 2 and x minus 1. So this is a case where, once again, we want to look to see if we can factor the numerator. So I need to, because I have a leading coefficient, I need to multiply 2 times negative 3. So I need factors of negative 6 that are going to add up to negative 1. So factors of negative 6 that will add up to negative 1 are negative 3 and 2. So I am going to use the strategy that I'm most comfortable with, or that I'm most familiar with, which is what I call the division strategy, which means I go right into my set of parentheses and I put these numbers in, and I start out with my leading coefficient, and then I look into my parentheses and I see if I can divide. So there's nothing that I can divide out of 2x and negative 3, so I'm going to go ahead and write that as 2x minus 3. But 2x and 2, I can divide that by 2, and that becomes x plus 1. And then we got x plus 2 and x minus 1. And then you can see that nothing does actually factor out, even though we're really close with x plus 1 and x minus 1. But these do factor. Like I said, if the numerator does factor, you always want to factor it to see if anything will divide out and if you can simplify further. And that is the final problem that I was going to work on to give you guys an idea. I don't want to make this video too short. But remember, big thing is still you got to be able to factor. Then we're looking to be able to simplify. Then you're looking for what factors are missing from denominators. Get a common factor, or get common denominators, multiply it out. Combine like terms in the numerator, and then if you can, factor to the numerator to see if anything will divide out, because we're always looking to simplify when it comes to rational expressions. And that is it for this section.